Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to this live broadcast, the crises, mistakes, and fuck-ups that are actually moving you forward. I'm really excited to do this Facebook Live with you on this really fun topic. Fun and interesting and surprising, I should say. So I'm just going to give you guys a second to start to come on. All right, we have one person on. We have two people on. So go ahead and say hi if you're coming on. Hi, Keely. So glad that you came today. And as we are, okay, there's three people on. So whoever is showing up, feel free to say hi in the comments so I know that you are here. Ashley is here. Hey, Ashley. And so as people are coming on, let me just do a couple of quick announcements. So first of all, let's see who else. Oh, hi, Joy. From snowy Portland. It's snowing in Portland. Oh my gosh, and it's almost spring. It's like one more week, right? Keely says, I'm all about fuck-ups. Yes! Yes, it's time to embrace them. Today is when we're really going to embrace our fuck-ups. This is going to be fun. Okay, so I keep getting distracted by your beautiful comments. So, okay, so two announcements just as we are getting started. First of all, I posted in the group. You all have a few more days, maybe about a week, to purchase one-off courses on my website. These are self-study courses. And this is because I'm bringing all the focus on my work into one-on-one, soon to be also group work, working more long-term with you all on deep personal transformation. That is my passion right now and really want that to be my focus for my paid offerings, right? So I'll still be available in this group and to my community. So yeah, I know, Maine, yeah. Joy just said that it's in Maine. Yeah, not Portland, Oregon, sorry, in Maine. So there, if you look in the group, there is a post about that with all the courses that are currently being offered that you have an opportunity now to grab before they become non-existent on my website. And what I'm going to be doing is actually moving some of the content in those courses into the longer group program. So if you sign up to work with me, you will have access to that material. It's still going to, you'll still have access to it. You just will only have access to it when you kind of commit to working with me. And some of the courses I'm going to be totally retiring because my work has progressed and evolved and grown, basically. So that's the first announcement. Kim is here. Hi, Kim. And the second announcement is I posted about a really great series coming up that I got to participate in called How She Made It. And it's with one of my business coaches, actually Tiffany Scott, and she interviews 20 women who inspire her and who she has worked with and who have worked with her on how they become successful. The topic is around money, but it has so much more to do about money. If you listen to mine, I don't even know how much I talk about money. It's really about how we each define success on our own terms and then go after that success. So that starts on March 19th. My interview goes live for that on March 20th. It's free. It's absolutely free. And so I would recommend you all join that as well. It's a great resource that Tiffany is and gift that she's giving to her community. So, all right. So those are two little announcements, and then let's dive in. I just need to get a drink of water. I stupidly ate some potato chips before I went live, so my mouth is now dry. Just getting real right now with you all. So let me just take a sip of water. Okay. So we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about 4 different kinds of fuck-ups, mistakes, crises, and we call them failures that we can encounter, and how each of those is actually a sign that our intuition is not only present, but is speaking to us more than ever. And it actually means that we have a very strong willpower and part of ourselves that is showing us the right direction. And I was really inspired to do this right after I did the Facebook Live 2 weeks ago, when I talked about how my synchronicities, positive synchronicities, were showing me that I was on the right track, and how we can look out for positive synchronicities. And when after that, I was sitting with it and realizing how actually the opposite has happened to me more throughout my life. More often, I was shown how to get on the right track, and how I was on the right track from things going wrong, from having moments of crisis, from having moments of feeling like crap. And what a gift those are, that to unwrap within our lives, to really redefine these moments for ourselves, and realize that what in the moment when everything seems to be going so wrong is actually oftentimes a point, can be, if we take advantage of it, a point of major breakthrough. So are you guys all ready to unwrap these 4 different types of moments? Let me know in the comments. And as I am going through these 4 too, if you are relating at this moment to that type of fuck up, crises, mistake, failure, you can please also share in the comments. All right. So this first one I like to call when the shit hits the fan. So this is the first one I like to call when the shit hits the fan. So when the shit hits the fan are these moments in your life where, metaphorically, it's as if you're walking down the street and you're thinking everything is going fine. And then it's as if a brick hits you on the side of your head and you're knocked over. And you're like, what the hell just happened? Joy says, yes, I may actually be having one today. So these are the like, what the fuck just happened moments in our lives. And some really common examples. I'm going to give some common examples of each of these, though there are so many more. So the most common examples I see are getting fired from a job, finding out your spouse or partner is cheating on you, or having a sudden health crisis. Like something goes wrong in your body and you had just no idea that this had been an issue before. So what is happening during these moments is that your intuition is screaming at you, stop compromising. Stop trying to fit your life into a mold that is not you. Stop pretending to be someone you are not. And I received this wake-up call. All of these are wake-up calls, by the way, but this is the moment that feels the most like a wake-up call from the universe, because it's literally is kind of knocks you on. It's such a huge, burning, bright signal that you just cannot ignore it, right? So I had my wake-up call in this way about 5 years ago, when I had been working in marketing for several years. And I'm going to go into that a little bit later in a different kind of wake-up call. But in this one, I had been working in marketing for several years, and I had transitioned into freelance work. And I had burned out on that. I just couldn't get myself to do that anymore. I was just so miserable in it. And I had been just questioning everything for a long time. And I finally got to a point where I was so frustrated and so out of options that I just threw up my hands and was like, well, I guess there's just no job out there for me, and I guess I just don't really belong, so I just might as well take this part-time job at this retail store that only pays minimum wage, less than I had made since I was in high school, and it'll just be fun. And, you know, I'll have barely enough to survive, but that's okay. And I had been working there for 2 months, and I actually kind of had fun doing it. And then suddenly, out of the blue, I got fired. To this day, I do not know why I was fired. And to this day, it just doesn't matter. Because that was immediately, not immediately, a few hours, I was pissed at first. Obviously, I was pissed that I got fired. But within a few hours, I was like screaming at the universe, what the fuck? What do you want from me? What the hell do you want from me? And it was at that moment that I realized that I needed to make a major shift in my approach. And what the universe and my higher self, my intuition, was telling me was that like, you matter. You think you don't matter to this world, but you matter. And so we're going to show you that you matter by throwing you out of this thing that was taking you down a path that just was not you at all. And what happened after that point was I did begin to start listening inward. It got me to start listening to my intuition and following my intuition. And it got me to where I am right now, that personal crisis. So again, the message when those kind of things happen, when the shit hits the fan, is stop compromising, stop pretending you're someone that you're not. Start listening. All right, so that's fuck up number 1. And if you have experienced a shit hits the fan moment and had that wake up call, please share in the comments as we are recording live, but also in the replay if you're watching this in the replay. Okay, so second type of crisis is, and this isn't a crisis actually, this is I like to call this the existential crisis moment actually, because it's not really a moment, it's a drawn out period when I like to call it when everything was fine and now it just isn't. So these are the periods of our life. So say you have been in a job for 10 years and you are just so bored. You're just bored out of your mind. Or your kids have just all left home to go to college or on their own, in their own lives with their own spouses and partners and apartments, and you just don't know how to fill your days, or you've just been doing the same thing over and over again, and it was working and now you just feel stuck. So the feelings in this are feeling bored and feeling stuck. And what this moment is actually is a rite of passage. You're transitioning from one stage of your life to the next stage. And the key in this process is being able to embrace that state of not knowing and being able to come into a place of exploration of what else might be ahead of you on your path. So we know it's a life transition when, say, okay, so you're bored at your job, and so you go on vacation, and you come back, and you're more unhappy than you were when you left, right? Or what's another example? Trying to think of another example. Or you are in a relationship and you go to couples therapy, and the couples therapy just doesn't help. And so whatever you're doing to kind of help the issue and to kind of put a Band-Aid on it just isn't working. And it really means that whatever is happening in your life is coming to an end and you're ready to embrace something new. So the way that I experienced this, I was actually in an existential crisis for many years. And I was at a full-time job in marketing analytics for a kind of small to medium company. I was the marketing manager in the kind of digital marketing department. And I did my job well, and all my coworkers liked me. And I felt like such a imposter. And I was posing in a job that I that I didn't believe in, that I didn't actually like. Every morning, when I woke up, I would cry before going to work. Every day when I came home, I would cry. And when people would ask me, well, like, what's wrong? Are people being mean to you? Is something happening? And I'd be like, no, I'm just so unhappy. I'm just bored out of my mind, and I'm not getting any meaning for what I do whatsoever. And what was happening was I was really, me working in marketing was actually a transition I needed to go to in order to get to this next phase of my life. And I really needed to bring that transition to an end and coming to ownership over my true self, over myself as a healer and a spiritual leader and an intuitive professional. But I didn't know it then. I didn't know what was waiting for me. And I really, at that moment, just needed to embrace the fact that there was something more. I needed to go into that place of exploration to get there. Okay, so that's number 2. Any number 2s out there? Let me know. All right. So the third one, okay, this one is really, really common. And this happens to all of us at many, many times in our lives. It happens to me all the time. So this one I like to call, if I could just fix this one thing, then everything would be fine. Everything would be perfect. Everything would work out. I would have everything I need. If I could just fix this one thing. So how this works is that all the problems in your life, or the problems in your life, are all centered around one particular issue. So, for example, you hate your job. You hate your house. You hate where you live. You are really lonely and you can't find the right partner. You're dating around and you can't find the right person for you. Or your partner just misunderstands everything about you and you're in constant tension with them. Or you totally hate your body and you think your body is disgusting. Okay, so it's when we start telling ourselves, well, that's fine, everything's fine except this one thing, and I just need to fix this one thing, right? So when I was in my 20s, I remember learning this myth called the magic of 3. And the magic of 3 was, the myth said that you can't have all 3. You can't have an amazing partner, an amazing home, an amazing job. That there's always going to be one thing going wrong with one of those. Okay, and I'm actually going to call total BS to that, because the fact is that when we believe that, because the reason why we believe that, and the reason why it happens where one part of our life starts to go wrong, is that there's a deeper issue that's getting triggered that is looking for an outlet in our life. It needs to find an outlet, a place of expression. And it finds that outlet and place of expression in a form of unhappiness. All right, I'm getting a lot of hearts and thumbs up and smiley faces. And so I am guessing that this really resonates with you. So that's great. So it's looking, so your unhappiness, that whatever is kind of being sparked is experienced as unhappiness, and it finds an outlet in your life, whether it's in your relationship realm, in your financial realm, in your career realm, in your health realm, somewhere. It finds that outlet. And so really, when this is happening, this is an opportunity to go deeper. It's an opportunity to look at what is shifting within myself that needs my attention. What is needing do I need to heal within myself? What am I ignoring? What am I cutting myself off from? And it's actually a place of, it means that you're actually growing and expanding. It means that you're coming into bigger self-awareness and a greater sense of wholeness within yourself. And so it takes, these moments does take a little bit of self-awareness, right? It takes a place of questioning and curiosity. Oh, okay, So what is this really about? And then doing a little bit of digging to see what that issue is really about. And when we end up doing that digging, we end up seeing that it really has nothing to do with actually our relationship or our body or our job. And it just needed to find an expression in that. So again, this will happen throughout our lives. This is a way that our intuition speaks to us and points us towards where we can do some new healing. And so I experienced this majorly last fall, actually, in the fall of 2017, when my home became a construction zone. My apartment, it was a townhouse actually, and they were doing, the building managers were doing construction right outside my unit, right below it. And every day I didn't know if I'd have to like leave my house, if I'd have to cancel my appointments, if I'd be able to do my work. And when I was in it, I was both miserable that I was in it. I knew I needed to get out and find a new home. I'd actually set an intention that year to find a new home. And so it was kind of like the universe was kind of pushing me out, right? But also, and that's what I was thinking while I was in it. Well, the universe is trying to push me out and get a new place. But there was a bigger, much bigger lesson that was actually being taught to learn in that moment, which was about my own personal power and how I was giving away my power to the building managers, to the guys that were coming, working on my building. And I would find myself so emotionally triggered every day in being able to assert my needs, assert my power, and actually get my needs met, rather than getting angry that these other people were keeping me from getting my needs met, right? So I was really being initiated into learning how to get my needs met, learning how to hold on to my sense of power when I was put in such a difficult situation in my physical world. So, and it's interesting because those issues continued a bit after I moved. You know, when there was a painter working on the house, or when the gardener would come, or when my wife had to stay home, and all these things. So I was still being taught to really learn how to draw these boundaries for myself. Ginny says, yes. Keely says, extra weight. Okay, now I don't remember what that was in relation to, Keely, if you can let me know. Extra weight, was that in the, if I can fix, just fix this one thing. That was it. Okay, yeah. So, all right, how does that resonate with you guys? Have you experienced this recently? This, if I could just fix this one thing. Other people. Keely says yes. Okay, yeah. So, okay, that is that one. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. No. Okay, bunch of thumbs up. So you all resonate with that one a lot. Yeah, that one's a really common one. Okay, so this next one, you're all going to resonate with so much too, because this one is also the one, and I call this one the little failures, And this is the one that I feel like we all need to give ourselves so much more compassion, so much more curiosity and opening around. And this is one where we can be so hard on ourselves. So the little failures, fuck-ups, and disappointments, these everyday little moments. So like, okay, some examples. You asked for a raise and you didn't get it. You posted something on social media and something vulnerable and true about yourself, and you don't get the response that you want. Maybe you get the opposite response. You've been out with someone a couple times, and then they just like ghost you. I don't even know what people do these days, but yeah. So maybe they just disappear, and you thought it was going well, and they just disappear. So these little things where these are the moments when you really feel like you're putting yourself out there. Your intuition has guided you to take this action, and you do not get the result that you want. You're disappointed by the result. So these are the moments when I call these intuition saboteurs. When our intuition saboteurs will have a freaking heyday, right? So we start saying, why did I do that? Why I'm the one that fucked up? Oh, you shouldn't have said anything. Oh, you shouldn't have taken that chance. Oh, you need to keep quiet. And yeah, we tend to go into total shutdown mode, and we end up doubting ourselves more from when we began. And so I want to do some major re-education around these types of moments, because just because your intuition guided you to do something and you don't get the results that you want does not mean your intuition led you astray at all. Actually, you are making progress. And you actually took a step forward. You have not fallen back. You're still forward from where you began. Keely says, oh, those wonderful facepalm moments. Oh, yeah. I love that way of describing it. So what is happening here is that the reason why things did not go the way you wanted them to go is because you had something to learn from the experience. You needed to learn whatever you needed to learn in that moment from what happened. And so the key in these moments is detachment. Okay, compassion and detachment. Because in order to have detachment, we first need to go into a place of compassion. Okay, and so we need to shift into, and so those little like voices, intuition saboteurs start coming up, and we start feeling shame and embarrassment and like, why did I do that? And oh, and instead we shift into, good for you for taking a chance. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud that you took this chance. You know what? It didn't work out the way you wanted, but that's okay. I'm proud of you anyway. And stepping into that place of compassion for yourself. Okay, and then from that place to come into detachment. Detachment means curiosity and openness and being like, okay, so why did this happen? What am I supposed to learn from this? What can I take away from this experience? Why did this happen? And that shows you the next step. And so you were meant to take this step. It's as if your path is going like this. You go here, and so then you were like, okay, so I thought I was supposed to go this way, over here, this way, but oh, that's not there. I actually need to switch directions and go here. I need to hop on this stone instead. So it's just asking your intuition. It's just actually guiding you to be like, just switch your direction just slightly. Just readjust. You're still on your way. You're still making progress. You just need to make this little adjustment. And so these moments actually can become really encouraging if we let them. So I've shared this with you all before, actually, a couple times, and I'll share it again. But I had a major moment like this at the beginning of the year when I launched my group program, and I got zero response from my community. Zero, like literally zero, like not even anyone being curious about it. And it was such a remarkable kind of lack of response that in the past, I would have gone into that place of feeling like I failed. I did something wrong. This wasn't the right thing to do. Why did I choose to do this? What did I miss? What am I doing wrong? Right? Going to the like, what did I do wrong rather than what did I do right? And instead I went into curiosity and was like, what is this telling me about how I need to adjust my business to fulfill my intentions right now? And what the biggest thing that taught me was that I needed to focus on one-on-one work. And since I've been doing that, everything has come into alignment so much more that I needed to put the group programs on pause to redevelop them, and in the meantime, to really just focus on one-on-one work. And so again, yeah, as I made that shift, then the steps begin to align again. So that is it. Yeah, those are the 4 ways, guys. So let me just pause for a second, and I'm just gonna see if you guys have anything, any responses, any comments about any of these four. Like, which one do you relate to the most right now in your life? Which ones have you experienced? I'm just gonna pause and wait, because I know there's a little bit of a delay. Ashley says, this helps me so much, makes me feel like everything isn't just going into chaos. Yeah. And the thing is, chaos is, sometimes we need to embrace the chaos, because the chaos simply just disrupts. Chaos just disrupts. It disrupts what is normal and shifts us out of that normality, because sometimes we need that. We need a major shift out of the normal. Ginny says, I like the adjustment concept. Yeah, yes. It's so empowering, isn't it, Ginny? Like, it's so empowering to know that, oh, I'm still moving forward. I just need to adjust a little bit. Because we're constantly adjusting. We're constantly adjusting every step that we take. And it's literally the learning process of life, that we take action in order to learn. Yes. All right. Anything else? Ashley says, it's true. I wouldn't probably try to work on as much or change anything if normal was just where I was. Yeah. And honestly, there's a lot of people out there in this world where normal is just fine for them. And normal is where they want to exist for the rest of their lives. And you all here in this group, I have to say this, are rather remarkable in yourselves. You're remarkable people that know that your life is meant to be so much bigger and so much grander and so much more amazing and fulfilling than just normal. And so at some point, all of us here are going to have these wake-up calls where we're being asked to expand and grow and be more remarkable, take ownership over our remarkableness. Kaylee says, I've experienced all of them, but the last two most frequently. Yes. From this discussion, I've learned I'm not really a big fuck up. I'm on my journey, of course. None of us here are big fuck ups. And the only piece that we really need to do, actually, the most powerful piece, is simply unlearning this idea that of attaching ourselves to the fact that we're a fuck up. Because when we attach ourselves to this idea that we're the fuck up, it's keeping us in that place of stasis. It's keeping us in that place of safety and not growing. And so the biggest gift we can give to ourselves is honestly letting go of that belief. Letting go of the fact that, like, we're the one that's fucked up. And seeing and being able to embrace the fact that the opposite is actually true, that we are ready for so much more. And we're being offered so much more. And there's a part of ourselves that deeply knows and believes this, and it's moving us in that direction. Alrighty, guys, that is about it for today's live broadcast. Feel free to continue to leave comments after I close this stream. Thank you guys for all coming and watching live. We've got 6 on right now, and I'm sure there's going to be so many more of you watching after this has gone live. I've had a really hard time lately tagging people in the post before I go live. And so I'm going to have to do that afterwards. And so I'm sorry for anyone who missed this live because I was not able to tag you. I don't know why Facebook is not letting me do that. Thank you, Keely. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you. Who else has been here? Ashley and Beth has been here, and Kim has been here, and Joy has been here. Thank you all for watching live. Oh, and Joe is here too, coming on at the end. And I will see you all in the space. Oh, one final note just before I sign up. Thank you all so much for your beautiful stories in my prompt yesterday. I created that post in inspiration for today's live broadcast. I love hearing your stories. of struggle and overcoming struggle through seeing the blessings of those moments in your lives. I'm literally brought to tears reading your stories. So if you have not left your story in that feed, please do so. Keep them coming. Definitely keep them coming. Okay. Bye.